Have you ever thought about where you'd be today if you started something 20 or 30 years ago with a clear long-term vision? Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, knew that building something big wouldn't be easy or fast, but his vision and perseverance led him to create one of the largest empires in the world. It all started in 1994 when Bezos left his successful Wall Street job to invest in a simple yet powerful idea: selling books online. At the time, e-commerce was nearly non-existent, and many doubted that an online bookstore could succeed. But Bezos had something others didn't: a clear vision of the future. He knew the internet was going to revolutionize commerce, and he wanted to be the pioneer in that transformation. "I believe what we're doing at Amazon isn't a 100-meter race, but a marathon," Bezos said in many interviews over the years. From the beginning, Bezos was relentless in his pursuit of growth. He knew that success wouldn't come overnight. He heavily invested in infrastructure and technology, and he understood that he couldn't expect quick profits. During Amazon's early years, the company ran at a loss and faced many challenges, but Bezos never gave up on his long-term vision. "I'm impatient with things that happen now, but I'm extremely patient with the long term," Bezos said in an interview. The key to Amazon's success was exactly this patience. While many companies focused on short-term results, Bezos was focused on creating something lasting and scalable. He also deeply believed in a principle that guided his leadership: if you're not obsessive about your customers, you'll lose focus. This absolute focus on the customer and the constant drive for innovation were critical to Amazon's growth. Additionally, Bezos learned the importance of making fast decisions and adapting constantly. One example of this was when he realized that Amazon could be more than just an online bookstore. It could be a global marketplace for all types of products. This insight was a turning point in the company's trajectory, and he risked expanding the business model to better serve customers' needs. When Bezos founded Amazon, many questioned whether he was crazy, thinking selling books online was a far-fetched idea. But he knew the internet's potential was limitless, and that long-term vision would be what made the impossible possible. Over the years, Amazon expanded into different sectors, such as technology, cloud computing, and even streaming services, radically changing the business world and establishing itself as one of the most influential companies on the planet. However, Bezos' journey wasn't easy. During the 2000s, he faced major challenges, including the dot-com bubble, where many internet companies failed. Amazon was one of the few that managed to stay strong and grow, even in times of crisis. "I think the biggest lesson I've learned over the years is that perseverance is key," Bezos said. "You're going to have tough moments. You're going to face obstacles. But if you're persistent and believe in what you're doing, eventually things will happen." Bezos' perseverance was the foundation of his success. He didn't let initial failures, criticism, or investor pressure stop him. He kept believing in his long-term vision and made Amazon an example of how you can turn a simple idea into a global empire. In fact, Bezos was well aware of the sacrifices and tough decisions he had to make along the way. One of the most defining moments in his journey was when Amazon faced near bankruptcy in its early days. Bezos had to make difficult choices to save the company, including borrowing money and restructuring the business. Despite the pressure, he refused to give up on his vision. He knew that what he was building wasn't just a business, it was a movement. "When you're building something new, you need a vision, but you also need the grit to weather the storm," Bezos remarked. "No matter how bad it gets, you need to keep your eyes on the horizon." One of the most pivotal shifts in Bezos' mindset came when he started viewing every obstacle not as a failure, but as a learning experience. In the early years, Amazon's focus was purely on books. But Bezos soon realized that his vision was much bigger than that. In fact, it was this realization that led to the creation of Amazon Web Services, AWS, one of the company's most profitable sectors today. AWS wasn't part of the original business model, but Bezos saw the potential for the cloud computing market, and he took a huge leap of faith to invest heavily in this new venture. The best way to predict the future is to invent it, Bezos has often said. And this mentality allowed Amazon to continue innovating and expanding beyond anyone's expectations. This willingness to take risks and invest in the future, even when others were skeptical, became the hallmark of Bezos's leadership. Today, Amazon is a global powerhouse, but the journey wasn't always smooth. Bezos faced countless challenges, from the early competition with Barnes & Noble to the rapid growth pains of managing a company that was expanding faster than he could have imagined. Throughout it all, he never lost sight of his long-term vision. He always knew that the goal was not to be the biggest company in the world, but the most customer-centric company on the planet. Success is a process, not a destination, Bezos once said. It's about the journey, the learning, the growth, and the impact you have along the way. Today, Bezos is one of the richest men in the world, and Amazon is one of the most successful companies in history. He not only changed the way we shop for products, but also revolutionized the way businesses operate and interact with their customers. But the secret to Bezos' success wasn't just his long-term vision or his patience. The secret was his ability to keep moving forward, even when the odds were against him. He understood that failure was just part of the process, and by persevering, he could achieve something great. The lesson from Jeff Bezos for all of us is clear. Long-term vision, perseverance, and the ability to adapt are the essential ingredients for success. If you have a clear vision and are willing to face the challenges along the way, no matter how tough it seems, you can build something big. The road to success might be long and filled with obstacles, but as Bezos always believed, what matters is continuing to take steps toward your goal. So, what are you willing to do today to achieve your own success in the future? What can you learn from Jeff Bezos' story to apply in your own journey?